Hello, welcome to TJD Movie Reviews, episode 49. We watched In Time.
I'm Ty.
Jake.
And I'm Drew.
Yes, the 2011 dystopian science fiction action thriller. Those aren't exactly all my words.
That's too many words.
Yeah, I know. Several.
Too many words.
Is that a game show we're going to do now?
Yeah.
That's an Adult Swim reference.
It's a 10-minute short film, maybe, on Adult Swim. Too Many Cooks, you never saw
Oh, yeah, you did show me Too Many Cooks. I just wasn't thinking about it.
He's like, I just immediately wrote it off after you showed it to me because it was stupid, so...
Actually, I did enjoy that. I listened to it a few more times the week after.
It gets stuck in your head.
It does.
It's pretty fantastic.
Anyways,
actually.
that has nothing to do with In Time.
Welcome!
Again. It stars Justin Timberlake, Amanda Seyfried, Cillian Murphy.
Yes.
Okay. Alex Pettifer. I don't know how it's pronounced. And Olivia Wilde and Matt Bomer and our favorite, Johnny Galecki.
Gross.
For you Big Bang fans out there, or Roseanne.
Actually, pretty great part of this movie, but we'll get to that.
But the whole premise of this film is that at the age of 25, the human race, you stop aging. You are born with a year, and it's into your genes somehow. You're just born with 1 year. And once you reach the age of 25, you stop aging, and your clock starts. So then you have to work, stockbroker, steal, get loans for time, because once your time hits zero, you just die. You like go into cardiac arrest. Your heart, your brain, everything just stops.
Right. You pretty much gotta work.
Yeah. And this film kind of be classified, I guess, as like the 99 to the 1%, like an Occupy Wall Street type of film. I'm not sure how many people would classify it as that, but you can see that message that, like the whole message that Timberlake has with this film is no one should occupy so much amount of time while everyone else here is struggling.
Right.
And that's his whole thing is, at first he trying to get by, and then he ends up with over a century of time from this guy who just gives it to him. And then he loses it to then realize, you know what, this isn't fair, I was using it wrong, to then he starts taking more time from those who have it and giving it back and trying to redistribute the wealth, all while being chased by these people who are in charge of keeping time and making sure that the market, I guess, isn't flooded, or each time zone isn't flooded with too much time.
He's the Robin Hood of time.
Mm-hmm.
In a sense, or Bonnie and Clyde-ish, because he ends up finding this girl and they start robbing people of time. And so they kind of become a Bonnie and Clyde outlaw duo.
And I mean, the socioeconomic divide is very prevalent from the get-go.
Well, and this film is pretty much taking place in L.A. They don't say L.A., but you can distinguish from landmarks and from the one map in the girl's father's boardroom that his zone is California. And you kind of distinguish, okay, this is LA, because you're pretty much going from Compton to Beverly Hills. So, or that's pretty much the premise of this film. Any first impressions on this?
I'm a pro.
I was going to say, quickly, directed by the same guy who did Gattaca.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't remember his name. What?
Andrew Niccol.
Andrew Niccol, yeah.
It's a very good-looking film. It seems expensive, if that makes sense. Like, everything, like most of the locales are pretty fancy-looking.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all the apartments and studio high-rise shit looks...
Mansions.
Yeah. But then when you get over towards the, shittier part of town, like, there's a part where they drive a truck through a window, and you could tell it's like the shittiest like fake breakaway window that you've ever fucking seen, but it's also one of those where it's not super important.
Or when the car hits the drag strip and
Yeah.
the tire strip. And...
That looked pretty rough. But in terms of like everything else, like everything looks pretty nice.
Yeah. There's a lot of gleam or polish to this film.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of because I saw this film before I saw Gattaca, now I can kind of say a con in a sense that you see a lot of Gattaca in this film. The green tint, like especially on their arm with the keeping of the time.
Right.
You start with it right away when Justin Timberlake wakes up. He wakes up to a green tint. You then also have like the swimming scene where him and Amanda Seyfried are swimming in the ocean, and it's like, wow, this is reminiscent of the end of Gattaca. So, except
he didn't make out with his brother.
Yeah, I was gonna say, except for the implications.
That would have been a different movie.
Come here, Anton.
But no, there.
Let's both not save anything for the swim back.
And then the whole like, there are certain people who should succeed over those who aren't. They feel as gifted.
Well, here's a question for you. Well, let me start the question with a statement. As a kid, and you guys, I'd imagine, were similar. Did you grow up watching Robin Hood?
Yes.
The cartoon?
Yeah.
Disney movie.
Or whatever iteration of Robin Hood. They're all
Errol
the same.
Flynn.
The idea of stealing from the rich to give to the poor.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe, like, this movie kind of posits that nobody should have that much time, but time equals money. So it's basically nobody should have that much money. Do you think that it's right to just take it from anyone? Because let's say it's somebody who started with nothing that built an empire. Is it right to steal from those people?
In what regard? Are you trying to feed your family? Are you just trying to eke by? What are you trying to do?
Well, let's say you're Timberlake and you're just like, he's got too much. He doesn't need that much, so I'm going to take it and distribute it.
It is kind of a socialist. That's a social communist ideal.
Right.
So, which in a sense is kind of perfect that, hey, everybody's on the same playing surface, but at the same time life doesn't work that way, and nor, I don't know if it should, but...
If I'm in that universe, quite possibly, yeah.
Right.
Because, yeah, you got these people who, like, the girl's father, had lived for over 100 years already?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
The guy who gives him the stuff had over another 100 years, and they say, I think, another 1,000 banked. Because, banks can hold your time, because you can only have so much stored in you. I think you can have 999 years, and all nines across your arm.
Right.
That's the most you can have, but...
I'd say that brings me to a con for me, is there's like a serious mixed message that I get from this movie. Like, on the one hand, they're like, enjoy whatever time you have, which time is money. So enjoy it, but also the flip side. Wow, the train derailed mid-thought. What's my flip side, guys?
Well, I don't know. I think more so along the fact that, like, the time you have isn't used to enjoy it. Like, most of these people are working day in and day out just so they can live. Like, they're living to work and working to live. Like, that's no life.
And then those, they also say, because she says it to her father, I don't think you've lived a day in your life. The people who have everything, they don't worry about keeping it. What they worry about is dying of just anything else. And so they don't actually live.
But they're not working.
No. Well, some are, but...
Like, he's gambling and fucking around. Like,
mm-hmm.
I guess now I remember the mixed message, fuck, man. You know when it sounds good in your head and then you start talking? Because there's a mic and then you're like, yeah.
And you're like, dude's an adjective?
Like Idiocracy. Remember Idiocracy? I started telling that fucking story and we kept interrupting each other and then you're like, well, what was your point on not letting your kids play with single syllable names? And I just go, yeah, that's bullshit. Because I can't fucking remember long enough to carry a thought. But the mixed message is enjoy what you have and don't focus so much on getting it. But the movie's also completely built around getting that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like just enjoy the time you have, but every fucking moment of your life is basically hunting for it.
Mm-hmm.
And,
So you can't enjoy it.
No. I think I kind of get what they're going for, but it's too different. ideologies that kind of butt heads for me.
Well,
So
this
it's a little
film
confusing.
Sorry to step on you there. This film feels like 3 different films in one. Like the first part of the film is a guy who just happens to run into a bunch of time, money, whatever, and he just kind of spending it. Then it turns into a action chase flick with him like running away from these time cops to begin with. Like you even said, you're like, wow, I did not see that coming, because he had done nothing up to that point, and all of a sudden now he can take down 2 guards like it's nothing.
Yeah, he had shown literally nothing to make you think that would be a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
And
then
then
he turns into Jackie Chan for that one scene.
Well, that second scene with the arm wrestling, he kind of pulls kind of a similar stunt.
Okay, fine. 2 scenes out of... How long is this movie?
An hour 45.
Oh, shit. It's really that long?
Yeah.
Oh.
Con?
No, I can't say pacing's really a con, because there's always some shit going on.
But like I said, you do see like distinct portions of the film. Like I think the film divides itself up into like 3 acts.
Yeah.
Really well.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I could see why some people might be bothered by that. I'm not gonna say it's a con, but
it's noticeable. Like you can feel when it's shifting over into that other movie.
Yeah.
Quote unquote.
Because then the third one becomes a Robin Hood. It went from the chase heist film to Robin Hood in the third act. And it's like, wow, this film is trying to be multiple things at once instead of just, sticking to one thing. So
I had a question. If since Timberlake, he gets that time at the beginning, and then he's like, okay, I'm gonna go to this rich part of town, and then he goes, I'm gonna take all of them down. Do you think he had the mindset that he was going to go there, get a bunch of time, and then come back?
Yeah.
And distribute it? He had that whole...
I think so.
out in his head from the beginning.
I think so. Because that, like, he gave 10 years to his friend like it was nothing. He's like, here, take this. And then, yeah.
That's part of the movie.
I don't know if you should really consider that the best part of the movie.
It's the best part of the movie.
So, Jake,
you already know my scene of the week.
Do we not want to talk about it so you could say your scene?
Oh, no, go ahead.
Well, no, I'll let you want, we'll let Jake do his scene early so we can get this out of the way.
Oh, you want me to do it now?
Yeah.
I would have said that one too.
So, so Timberlake gets a shitload of time, and he comes back to his buddy
Johnny
Galecki, who... they hung out one time?
No. He goes, how long have I been your friend?
And he goes, 10 years.
Well, no, but he had only been in the movie that one scene where
he was at the factory, then they went to the bar together.
Oh, okay.
And then, then they were hanging out there. They had seen each other a couple times. Yeah.
Well, anyways, he comes back, and they have this conversation, and Timberlake's like, how long have we known each other? And, they're talking about 10 years, I've known you a decade. So he gives Johnny Galecki a decade. He just puts it on his little arm clock and, sends him on his merry way. And then you find out later that he must have hit the bar right after that.
Oh, you see him.
Drank himself to death.
He looks. He gets the 10 years. He looks across the street, sees the bar, and he goes, honey, I'll be right back.
I didn't even notice. That makes it even better.
Yeah, he literally says, honey, I'll be back.
That was the knee-jerk reaction. I'm going to go get so fucking plastered that I die.
Well, you saw him in the bar the night before, where he was like, this guy's buying drinks for everyone.
Best scene ever.
When he buys a coffee, he puts fucking whiskey in it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now that you mention it.
I didn't notice all these details. Well, yeah, it's true to real life that if you give a poor person money, they'll do something terrible with it.
Or he's obviously been set up as an alcoholic, so that's his issue. And you give an alcoholic what seems like an endless supply of money.
I might cut that because it makes me sound like a monster.
Okay.
Really? Out of all the stuff he said?
You give a peasant some money and he goes and kills himself. I have a racing wheel.
I mean, if you give 10 years to a junkie, you'd be like, ooh, look at all the heroin I could buy with this.
That's true.
Yeah. I mean, he's never seen that much money before, especially with a kid. He can't spend all that money.
I guess it's not as good if there's so many hints. But for me, I hadn't noticed anything, so I thought it was just randomly. Yeah, he went to the bar and drank himself to death.
No.
I'm like, what the fuck?
No, they painted him as an alcoholic the whole film.
They couldn't afford to keep him on for the rest of the flick.
Well, it's still pretty funny, I think.
Yeah. No, it is.
Not intentionally funny, but it's Johnny Collect.
Dude, me and you laughed pretty good
When
we saw that scene.
That's what got me interested.
Because Justin Timberlake and Amanda Seyfried go to him because they had actually had their time stolen and they had seconds to spare, and that's when they find out he drank himself to death with 9 years remaining. So we don't know how much a beer costs. Like, what cup of coffee costs you 4 minutes?
A fucking toll booth cost you...
Well, it depending on what zone you were going to.
Still.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be traveling. I wouldn't be going anywhere.
But, yeah, he drank himself. And that's the other thing with this film is, once you die, your time just stops. Like, you can either have your time hit 0 and you die, or say you get in a car accident and you die, or you get shot and you die. Your time stops at whatever it is. Somebody can't take it from you.
Right.
So.
Which brings me to a con that I have with this movie.
And is this what we talked about during the film?
Within the context. Okay, so this entire society is built around a currency transfer of time.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And they've made it so easy to transfer time that anybody can just be robbed of time. Like, when you're sleeping, somebody could come and just grab your arm and take all of your time.
Mm-hmm.
That is a terrible, terrible way to set up the infrastructure for your society.
That's why people who have a lot of time buy guards. Or people probably have locks on their windows and doors, so when they go to sleep, you don't have to worry about it.
That's just asinine to me. Like,
there are probably not many one-night stands happening in this world because you don't want to take that risk.
Yeah?
It's a safer world.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I agree. It is a little too easy to transfer the time, but at the same time, wow, that was stupid. Never mind.
Yeah,
it's inevitable.
Yeah. There are a lot of time puns. Con/pro. There are a lot of time puns in this film. Anyways, back to Drew's point.
They're cringy as fuck, but goddamn, they're entertaining. Every time you hear one, you're just like, oh. But you smile a little bit. You're like, that's fucking stupid.
It's like Tom Brady, I hate you, but goddamn it, I respect you.
I don't respect him.
Anyways, back to Drew's point. I think they had to make it somewhat easy to transfer just one. I mean, you can't just go to a bank and be like, how are we going to do this? Are you literally going to take a syringe and take the time out of my arm? And
There should be some sort of consenting factor, though.
Yes.
Like, I don't know, like a password or something. Like, I mean, I guess it's essentially the same as you, like, carrying cash on you all the time. Like, you could be robbed at any time. Like, that's fine, I guess, but, like, it's just kind of stupid.
I mean, it is. Somebody could steal my wallet, go max out my credit cards, and use my debit card, and I'm shit out of luck.
But you won't die.
Yes.
That's the difference. It's a little heavy-handed.
Mm-hmm.
There should be, like, insurance, like time insurance.
Well, you're dead.
There could be. Maybe we don't know about that.
Is there an FDIT?
Yeah. I don't know.
Instead of the FDIC, it's a pun. Play on
I was
words.
trying to figure it out. I'm like, fuck dick.
Fuck dick.
In
cunts?
In time?
Fuck dick and tits.
I've watched that movie.
I've watched that movie.
Starring Leslie Jones?
Well,
oh boy.
We were talking during the movie as well. What would not exist in this society? Video games don't exist. I contend movies or TV do not exist. Like, I mean, you obviously see the news, but...
Hookers exist.
Yes, hookers do exist.
You don't even know what you're getting into.
Like, I love that. They're one... When you meet Cillian Murphy, he's a grizzled old vet who's 25 years old, but he's actually like 80. Because he said, he's been on the job for 50 years.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets propositioned by this hooker who's down in this one of those.
It's like aqueduct. Or
those aqueducts like we saw in Drive or Grease. What's she doing down there?
I'll give you 10 minutes for an hour.
Yeah.
She's like, nah.
He's like, you've been hooking for 60 years. She's like, thanks. Because now everybody knows that
was a pretty good line.
That vagina has been wrecked a lot.
Completely destroyed.
Well, and see, that brings up the other thing. Is if you're 25 forever, I mean, does the body... I assume the body can still break down. Like you were talking about, Jake. The body can still break down. Like, that can be overworked.
I would assume. Yeah. You're going to have a lot of haggard as fuck 25-year-olds. Everybody would look like a meth head, at least.
You have like all these 100-year-old people, rich 100-year people, like walking around. Like, didn't seem like anybody had like, I don't know, bone problems or.
See, and that's why I mean
they don't really go into depth with that kind of stuff. It's just kind of assumed that you look and you feel like you're 25
forever
as long as you have time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the other way they keep track is kind of stupid too. Like Justin Timberlake was 25 plus 3. So he's actually 28, but you keep track yourself. You don't actually call yourself 28. You say, I've been 25 for 80 years. It means you're 105.
Why don't you just say you're 105?
I know.
Or you say you're 3 and 2.
Yeah. Well,
somebody read the script and said, so it's a 3-year-old and a 2-year-old that are running around robbing people and maybe fucking? Serbian film?
Jeez. But, no, it is, that's a kind of a con. It's some of the script writing in this is a little lazy. Like, we talked about the what did I just call them? Puns, the time puns, which some of them land, others do not.
Most of them do not.
Most of them do not. And they get a little old, but you do you begin to laugh at them, like, really?
I mean, I hated it at first, but it got to a point where I admired the tenacity that they stuck to it for the whole fucking movie. And they just keep, like, not landing. And eventually you're just like, oh, fuck it. I'll embrace this.
So wait, you liked UHF?
No. That movie sucks. But the puns in this got tolerable in a goofy sort of way. Like,
how many more can they come up with?
Yeah, like, or you'll be like, they wouldn't dare, and then somebody will say it, and you're like, I can't believe they fucking said that. Like, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but tone is weird for this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it took me, I was taking it more seriously, but then as it went on, I'm like, well, maybe I'm not supposed to take it super serious. Like, maybe it's just kind of a goofy whatever. Because I consider Gattaca pretty serious.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes, definitely.
Like, there wasn't really a lot of strangeness to it. It was just kind of...
But they both deal kind of with evolution. Like, Gattaca definitely deals with evolution and trying to make the perfect human. This one, in a sense, it's survival of the fittest. It is. It's who can make the most money / time off of other people to be able to live or be immortal. Like they say, for few to be immortal, it takes many to die.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. This is a weird movie.
I do like kind of how they, people want to live forever, but like I like Hunter, who is Matt Bomer, or is it the guy from Nice Guys or White Collar? Is that his name?
I think so.
Matt Bomer.
The guy who plays Philippe.
Yeah. I like that he discusses. He's like, I've lived for 113 years, and he goes, I really don't have anything left to live for, because he was trying to get himself killed. He wanted somebody to end him.
Well, don't you think you probably hit that point?
Yeah.
Like, you get old enough, your body starts, I don't want to say going to shit, but like, time kind of breaks everything down. You're watching friends die.
But say in this world, you literally can live forever. Your friends can live forever. But he doesn't want to. He even says, man wasn't meant to live forever. He goes, everybody should have enough time to live as long as they need to.
Right.
So
I think it's more like even you said, the body starts to break down after a certain amount of time. Like I think that even includes the mind as well.
He got mentally fatigued, you could say.
Why? Why? You see that all life has to offer, and you're just kind of like,
what's left?
Yeah.
Like Jake was talking about the dad to Amanda Seyfried. He's been banging the same woman for 100 years.
I can't even imagine. I would jump right off a bridge.
Jeez.
I mean, she was hot, but 100 years? Nobody's 100 years hot.
And she hates him. Like, you see that.
Oh, she straight up fucking despises him.
Life is too short to bang.
That was a pretty great scene where she's like, this is your fault, fuckface.
Yeah, pretty much.
And he doesn't even react. He's like, nah.
He's like, why would she do this to me? She's embarrassing me. And she's something like, you've embarrassed
You're suffocating
No,
this
yeah,
family.
you're suffocating her. You suffocate me. Like, you suffocate everybody you know. Like,
yeah.
Everyone hates you. Bye.
It's like, divorce me. I'll take you for half you own. What do you guys... Okay. Like, I think it's a pro, like, kind of how they show how you die. Like, the first time you see somebody actually run out of time, they've ran out of time before you actually see the event. They're just laying down in the factory. They ran out of time, so they're dead.
Right.
How do you... Some of it is the person acting it out, but how they portrayed them actually just running out of time.
A little goofy.
Yeah. Like, I thought Matt Bomber was pretty good. He just was like, he went into shock and just fell off the bridge.
Right.
But then, like, the guy who...
Cillian Murphy was kind of weird.
Yeah, he just spasms.
That guy was weird when those Minutemen, those Mafia guys, had that guy up against the fence and he drained all his life. That was terrible.
Didn't he, like, smack the fence?
Yeah.
Fall
He's
down
like,
real slow?
Yeah, his arms, like, T-Rex'd and he hit the...
That was easily the worst one of the movie, in my opinion.
Or the best.
I mean,
depending on...
To each your own, I guess.
No. So, Jake, you were complaining the whole film you would have no money. Like, you would always be constantly worried.
I'm a motherfucker with a racing wheel.
So...
Which in this movie would have been like 500 years of my life. So I would have done it a long time ago.
Nah, not that much.
I don't know. He paid what? How much did he pay to go to that last...
a decade? Was it... To get into the last zone?
I thought it was 2 years.
Oh, it's 2 years.
And he was living day to day? Like,
yeah.
That's how much the average person gets is like 24 hours?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the fuck am I going to afford with that?
Well, you know how much that Jaguar cost that he bought?
How much?
59 years.
Plus tax. Because I was including
Plus
tax.
tax, yeah.
Couldn't afford that.
And then they're asking... See, that's something I hate, is when people have enough money to, like, own something like that nice of a Jaguar, and they're like, oh, we'll deliver this so you can show it. It's like, no, fucking use that shit. I hate people who like, buy something, but then they never experience it, or they never use it. They're like, oh, I just have it to have it. I hate that mindset.
So, like, if you had a genuine game-worn bat from Ty Cobb, you wouldn't...
I would go out and use it. Yeah. No. But that's completely different. Like, buying a Jaguar, that's something you can actually use.
Yeah.
Obviously, an autographed bat from Ty Cobb that he beat one of his teammates with, obviously you don't want to use that. Unless you're going to put more blood on it. But... Allegedly.
I don't even know who you're talking about.
The famous baseball player.
I'm interested.
He was a dick.
Yeah.
Did you ever see Field of Dreams?
Yeah.
They mentioned Ty Cobb by name. Like, Kevin Costner, he's like, is Ty Cobb here? And they're like, hell no, we ain't gonna invite that like, they was a
motherfucker.
It was Ray Liotta. Ray Liotta, who was, I think he was She Was Joe, if I remember right. But he's like, no, we're not gonna invite that asshole. I think they do say asshole. But...
Wow.
Yeah, he was a dick. Allegedly.
Ray Liotta's a motherfucker that I can't imagine ever played baseball ever.
I think he was an 8-man out as well. I don't remember though. But anyways, yeah, I think the immortality thing is kind of a mental fatigue they talk about. To come back around to that point we were talking about
10 minutes ago.
Yeah. Immortality is like a dream, but it's not actually like... In this world, it's actually attainable because you stay young, but you become fatigued with it.
There's only one man that is supposed to live forever, and that man is Christopher Lambert.
Mm.
There could only be one?
Yes.
Yeah, and Ward Raven.
I was going to say, have you guys ever seen Highlander?
Yes.
A long time ago.
I think I saw the third one, or second one. Which one's the one Sean Connery comes back for? Is that the third one or second one?
Was The Quickening?
Was it The Quickening?
I think
I
so.
saw parts of that one. And
That's a terrible movie.
Is it? I was like 8.
Fucking god
No,
awful.
I was like, who's this guy? Because he like touches his neck or whatever, like after he comes back.
Because he got his head chopped off in the first movie. Yeah, that
I never
movie makes no sense, even if you watch the first movie.
I never saw it, so I was like 8. I'm like, what the hell? I think my dad said, oh, it's Highlander.
What the hell are you doing watching Highlander when you're 8?
It was on TV, like it was on Fox.
Oh.
Like, remember when Fox used to show movies on Saturday afternoon? Or Sunday afternoon? They'd be like, oh, the Fox movie.
Remember when Fox made movies that weren't dog shit?
Remember when Fox had TV shows that they didn't cancel?
No.
Me neither.
I was going to say, no.
Greg the Bunny?
This was Fox.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that explains it.
So it's dog shit?
All that wasted money.
Oh.
In time.
And time.
Time and money. Well played.
Thank you.
Now, what do you guys think of Justin Timberlake in this film?
He's a little stiff.
I'm trying to think.
A little bit. I've seen better performances from him, for sure.
I was going to say, was this his first or his second? I think he had done Alpha Dog already.
Alpha Dog is
Yeah,
awesome.
he did Alpha Dog way sooner than this.
Alpha Dog was like 2005, 2006? Yeah.
And then he also had Black Snake Moan, Southland Tales, The Love Guru, Social Network, Bad Teacher, Friends with Benefits. Man, In Time came out after Friends with Benefits?
He was good in The Social Network.
Yeah. He was good in Friends with Benefits. So...
Yeah, he... I don't know. He was a little strange.
I think some of it, too, though, this was more of an artsy film than he had done. I think Alpha Dog was probably the best. And Black Snake Moan were the most artsy or out there kind of films he had done. And this one, yeah, he is a little stiff, but I think he's fine. Like,
I thought it was passable, for sure.
Cillian Murphy, though, I don't know if it was the makeup or what, but he looked like a mannequin to me.
Dude, that guy was a robot in this movie.
Yeah.
Even Jake was like, I'm Cillian Murphy, and this is how I talk when I speak English.
I mean, he doesn't talk like that. Like, watch any other movie that he's in, and he has, like, there's a dialect with him.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't hear it in this, and it seemed weird because he seemed to be talking, like, I don't want to say, like, more aggressively to cover it up, but, like, I don't know, it was noticeable.
He was talking like a Harvey Keitel in any cop movie he's done. I'm by the book. I do it this way. That's the only way.
Right.
Let's do it.
And he was dressed like a fucking retard for the whole goddamn movie.
There it is.
There's the R word.
He looked like Dylan Klebold in this movie.
You want to talk about terrible dress? Can we talk about the guy with the fucking fedora?
That thing was pissing you off.
I hated that. God.
Every time it was on the screen, Drew's like, that motherfucking hat.
Like, why doesn't that guy run out of time?
It's like you playing Dragon Age. Ty had this hat that his character wore where it made the back of his head clip and it looked like the Invisible Man was on the back of his skull.
Oh.
It looked like little sunglasses looking at you.
It is a fucking glitch. It pisses me off, but
It's
I like
great
the hat.
though.
Yeah, I love
Great
that.
hat.
Fuck that fedora. No one should wear a fedora.
I just love how he didn't even have it like on his head. He had like on top, like it wasn't squarely on his head, so it like brought to the front.
It looks so fucking doofy.
He looked like fucking Nick Carter in the Backstreet Boys.
Not somebody from NSYNC.
No, I honestly, because the only other name in NSYNC I know is Joey Fatone.
Lance Bass.
Oh yeah, Lance Bass. He got his degree from the University of Nebraska.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I watched too much TRL when I was younger.
Did Tommy Lee get his degree when they did that stupid fucking
He didn't
show?
even graduate high school, so he technically couldn't
He went
be
there for a
enrolled.
year, man.
I can't believe you went there.
Yeah.
Think of how many girls got venereal disease. That shit spread like the plague.
All of them?
I'm pretty sure every dude that was going to UNL when that show was on was like, oh, fuck. Tommy Lee just fucked over everybody in this entire city.
Oh, that was bad. Did you ever watch that show?
Hell no.
I think I watched 3 of the 8 episodes. Just because. I was like, I gotta see what this is like.
Tommy Lee goes to college.
It was awful.
Yeah. I
Like,
can't believe there were 8 episodes.
well, it was bad.
How does that... Did he just go to his agent was like, send me to some college campus so I can fuck some young chicks?
Pretty much, that's probably what it was. And like they portrayed it that he was actually living on campus. He was like living in a house like a mile off of campus with another guy, like who was an actual student, but yeah, Tommy Lee barely showed up to class. He barely did the actual stuff besides for filming. Yeah, it was dumb. So
I feel bad for that guy that lived with him. Hey, my girlfriend's gonna be coming over later.
he's like, you want a 3-way?
Just every week, he's telling the rest of his friends, so what happened when she came over? Tommy fucked her.
And then made me watch.
It's 9 feet long. And covered in bumps.
Now, Jake, you're the connoisseur of this stuff. Did you watch the Tommy Lee Pam Anderson?
I've seen it.
I haven't. I don't want to.
Oh, I was gonna say, you want to?
No.
I mean, I watched it for her, but that wasn't good either.
She was covered in bumps.
You go into it thinking, wow, it's Pamela Anderson, this will be great. And then you're like, ew, maybe not so great.
Which was better, China or Pam Anderson?
Well, Pam Anderson, of course. He laughs like that's like there was a chance at me giving another answer.
I just like you can compare them.
There's no comparison.
Paris Hilton or Pam Anderson?
Do I have a gun?
Wow. In terms of like just what am I grading the performance on?
Oh my gosh.
The pop culture impact?
Sure.
How did we get here?
It'd probably be Paris Hilton then. That was a big deal when it happened.
Okay. I don't know why.
Okay, he says. He's just genuinely curious. We'll make another pod called Talk to Jake About Porn. And you can ask me all these questions about celeb sex tapes. It'll be great. No one will listen to it.
Yeah, it should be like a Periscope thing. Like, we could do it live, and people, like, tweeting questions and shit.
Yeah, when we have more than 20 listeners, we'll get right on that.
We had 100 downloads yesterday.
Yeah, that's true.
But
are they real people? Or robots? I don't know.
Does porn exist in this world and in time?
Well, if it's like here and nobody pays for it, yeah.
But then how are people getting time for fucking? Like, I mean, how are they making money? Or making...
I don't know. You don't see that aspect. Like, you don't see, like you said, you don't see movies. You don't see, like, time is precious in this world. And I think that the simplest luxuries that don't cost time are what people are focused on. Mm-hmm. So, like, prostitution, like, 10 minutes for an hour. Like, you know, just...
Fair price. Costs you a lot more to go through a toll booth.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Yes, it does. What was the first toll booth? What, a day?
A month.
A month?
Yeah.
Shit.
And then it was like, what, a year?
Yeah, it progressed all the way up to 2 years,
2 years.
I think. So, like, collectively, it's probably, like, I don't know, like, 3 some odd years to get out there.
I'd be losing my fucking mind.
Jake would just stay where
Just
he's at.
seeing a number on my arm, I'd be like, oh, fuck. Even if it's a high number, you're like, oh, fuck.
I only have 100 years to live.
And then you calculate it out in your head, and I'm like, I'm going to die right then. If I buy nothing for the rest of my life, right now.
Or make nothing.
Yeah. I'll be dead on this day.
You could always sell your body, Jake.
That's true. People would pay for this.
Yeah.
They'd pay for me to get away from them.
I do like that they threw in a little bit of what do you call it? Arm wrestling into this. Like there's a game where you can pretty much play death chicken, I guess. Because you so easily can steal somebody's time. Like they've made a game of it where people arm wrestle for their life, in a sense. But
Death chicken?
Death chicken, yeah.
Does it taste better than regular chicken?
Mm-hmm. It wears like a hooded robe and...
You ever eat a live chicken?
Chicken.
It's better because you can hear it scream.
You know I meant like chicken as in like...
It's a chicken that flips.
Oh my gosh.
Chickens have beaks.
Alright. I gotta go there.
We've already gone to porn.
But there's two people laughing their ass off right now. So good for them.
Thanks for sticking with us through all this.
Yeah.
We're so close to 50. Don't give up on us now.
It's gonna be worth it. Or not. I'll be realistic. I won't make empty promises.
We'll let you decide.
Yeah, it's up to you.
But you know I meant like chicken as in like two cars chasing or driving at each other and
two cars chasing each other.
yeah, chasing. It's like a dog's tail.
Do we have any more pros and cons?
So what, you said arm wrestling's a pro?
I thought it was interesting because you saw it once happening in the factory. You're kind of like, what the hell are they doing? And then you see Justin Timberlake. He talks about that's how his father died because he would win money and then or win time, I guess, give it away because there are missions like we talked. There's really no charities. You're not gonna have a MDA or a cure for cancer or what do you call it? March of Dimes.
Right.
Those aren't really going to exist because unless it's the high class, giving money. With these lowers, they have missions where like there's a priest who's given so much and he has it donated and he gives it away, what he can without dying.
Mm.
So, but yeah, I think the arm wrestling thing though is intriguing. Like that, there's strategy to it that they talk about a little bit. And,
how do we feel about the RC cars and the Capri Sun sound effects?
That's what I wanted to get into a lot earlier. The cars, like we talked about, the cars look general. Like I think they bought stock cars and then just primed them.
Yeah.
And then they sound like RC cars, which sound like shit.
Yeah, the sound editing was not great in this movie.
No.
It's the same car shit from Gattaca, basically.
He just recycled it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then when you get time from someone, it makes this kind of suckling noise.
Yeah.
That they use
It's
a
like,
lot.
It's kind of like a wop, 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 wop. Yeah. Okay, maybe not that gratuitous.
Prove me wrong.
Oh.
That's my Scooby impression.
Give me more time.
When he's tossing Shaggy salad.
I was gonna say when Scooby's licking peanut butter off of Shaggy.
Like someone Scoob.
You want a Scooby snack? Jesus Christ.
Mr. Grant.
Oh my gosh. Are you okay, Jake?
I feel so stupid. That's what he would call it, though. There's not a doubt in my mind. Scooby's eating ass. That's what a real Scooby snack is.
Is that considered bestiality
Yes.
since he's a cartoon?
Absolutely.
or CGI, if you go by the movies.
There's a picture of Shaggy somewhere in a PETA office.
Which Shaggy?
He's like... Yeah. Oh my god! I feel like this entire pod is built towards that moment, and you just... There's not going to be a 50 now. Which Shaggy? He gets a phone call at his Jensen tire. That wasn't me.
Oh, Shaggy's my angel.
I don't even have a Great Dane.
Oh,
I'm broken.
Wow, that was a journey.
that's a completely different band.
Scooby Snacks.
Oh, shit. I don't even remember what we were talking about. Oh, I was actually going to say, I don't think gasoline exists in this. I think they're all electric or cars. I'm trying to get us back on the movie.
What a point to come back to.
Yeah. But I think that's why he made them...
There's fossil fuels?
I think that's why they made them sound like an RC cars, because they're all electric.
It's the year 2169, I think.
Oh, is that what they said?
Yeah. Yeah, 2169.
And say I didn't...
We're still around in 2169, huh?
Yeah, we just devolved into a universe where the poor get poorer and the rich get richer. Imagine that.
Oh, that sounds oddly
like
familiar.
We're there.
By the way, this film did make a profit.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
Yes.
Not domestically, but internationally.
Good. Well, I think he's an interesting director.
Oh, I thought you were saying like it didn't deserve it to make it money back domestically.
Oh, no. I'll give props to any director that is not a pretentious cunt. Well, I don't know him personally. He might be a pretentious cunt for all I know, but as far as I know, he's not like he's not a Josh Trank. You know, he's not full of himself, and he didn't fuck himself out of directing a Star Wars because he's got a... Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, they gave that dude, after Chronicle, they gave him the keys to a Star Wars, and he pissed it all away.
He's like, I'm going to do this Fantastic Four movie.
Well, I think he had already agreed to start doing Fantastic Four, and whoever the head of that, whatever that lady's name at Disney is, was like, we'll get Josh Trank to do episode, 8 or 9. One of them.
Because Abrams was doing 7 no matter what.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then he had his fucking... That's why he thought he was hot shit, and started trashing shit, not showing up to set, just being a piece of shit. And then she heard about it and fired him.
Good.
Yeah, that's why he's making some fucking...
Power Rangers.
Fonzo.
Yeah, Fonzo. Power Rangers. No, that's a guy... That's even worse. That's a guy that's trying to be Josh Trank.
Yeah.
And he's like, why don't I take a 90s... cultural phenomenon and turn it into a piece of shit
I don't get
Chronicle sequel.
I don't get how that guy gets $150 million when he has no body of work to show for it.
I think they just believe in the property that much that they're like, whoever does it, it'll make money.
They thought about...
That'll make money. That movie will make money.
Yeah, that's what's fucked up.
Well, no, they thought the same thing about the Turtles, which that new Turtles... The first Turtles film made money. The second one did not do as
the
well.
Shadows didn't make money?
It didn't make as much, or I think it barely broke even. So
fool them once.
So why don't they get that money that they're using to try and do the Turtles movie and make a Hellboy movie?
Because they don't own Hellboy. That's Fox / Nickelodeon again that owns the Turtles. I think it's Fox.
Somebody needs to give Del Toro some money. I would do it if I had it.
It was money
or some time, whatever, however much it costs in years. I'll give it up.
Well, Ron Perlman would need the years.
It's fucked up, man.
It's true. He would. That's pretty much probably the number one thing is Perlman's like, I'm too old now. I can't do it. Just like Hugh Jackman's like, I can't do Wolverine anymore. The rigors on his body are too much. So,
the rigors?
Riggers.
Yeah.
Riggered?
That's what an old man says after he pops a Viagra.
The riggers.
I've got the riggers.
But the regiment that he has to go through to stay in that shape and do all that, it's all on his body.
When's the last time you saw X-Men 1?
Oh, it's been years.
You should look at a picture of him in X-Men 1.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
He just looks like a regular dude.
I forget what movie it was. He worked with somebody, and they convinced him to put on that muscle mass. I think it was he worked with The Rock for something. Or he met The Rock, and he was like, how do you get in this shape? And he told him. So, But there was a reason he started getting jacked like he did as Wolverine.
Why
Because
haven't I met The Rock? Is that all it takes? You just have to run into him and he's like, do this.
and you're like, all right.
He's like, lift weights and exercise. I'm like, fuck, I can't do that. I'm out.
Because he saw somebody and he was like, I want to look like that. And they told him, here's how you do it. And so that's what he started doing. Because he wanted that appearance for Wolverine. So,
He's a scary fucking Wolverine.
oh, yeah. I don't know who's going to replace him. That's going to be tough.
Dude, I'm so pumped for life.
I mean, no one's really truly replaced Christopher Reeves as Superman. Not that he was intimidating or anything, but he's been by far the best actor to be Superman. And I know you guys hate Superman, but...
I was just remembering his comment about getting paralyzed. He goes, Superman my ass. One of the best fucking things he's ever said. I laugh my ass off every time he says it.
Jeez, that's awful.
You don't remember him saying
No,
that?
I remember
Oh,
that.
it was fucking amazing.
It's awful, though.
That's why I think you guys are funnier than I am. Is because you don't expect it coming from you two.
Hmm.
I'm like a one-trick pony. Everybody's kind of, well, relatively. They're expecting a level, and then I just have to push it further.
You'll get some dark shit from me and Ty occasionally.
Yeah.
That just happened to be one of the moments.
It's good, though, because you do it sparingly.
Yeah.
You just pepper it in there, so those are the real gems. Not in the holograms.
Oh, I wasn't thinking that.
Well, I know you and
Wow.
your fucking humor.
I literally, that wasn't anywhere near me. I don't even know what that is except for Robot Chicken.
God damn it.
And she's like some big fat woman. Like a whore or something.
No, Gem and the Holograms was a fictional
Band. I know.
slash cartoon series.
But I'm
the
saying
80s.
in the Robot Chicken, they make her like this big fat
Right.
trailer park.
Kind of like Josie and the Pussycats.
Yeah, that's
Wasn't
Yeah.
Jabberjaw in a band?
Yes.
yeah.
What was the name of that band?
Oh, Jabberjaw and the something.
Yep, that's it.
Jabberjaw.
That's my new band shirt.
Jabberjaw.
Just a picture of Jabberjaw, and it says Jabberjaw and the something.
Dude, Jabberjaw played the drums. Man.
Yep.
It's a bunch of empty chairs next to him.
Holy shit, dude. When's the last time you heard anybody bring up Jabberjaw?
I could not tell you. I'm looking up Jabberjaw right now to see what his band's name was. Jabberjaw and the Neptunes.
Oh, yeah.
Who? Why the Neptunes?
I don't
Also,
know.
Because they're in the water. And that's like Neptune, like.
But they're all people. Like, why would they be in the water? They're
'Cause they're
humans.
mermaids?
They're human.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but they
Also-
would like go to like underwater places.
Quickly, speaking of Josie and the Pussycats, have you guys seen that new what's it called? Archie comics. Where are they from?
I don't know. I never read Archie.
Like what school they go to?
Well, the name of the town.
Fuck, I don't know.
Archieville?
No, but they the CW has done a gothic like dramatization of Archie.
Live action?
Yeah,
Oh, good God.
and
Okay.
what is it?
What fucking audience is that trying to target?
Riverdale.
Riverdale.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and like they
Wait,
Josie and the Pussycats show up in it. So
is that the name of the school in Greece?
No, it's Rydell. Hi.
yeah,
Oh,
Rydell
Rydell.
High. Mm-hmm.
Rydell, Riverdale.
But yeah, they've made a gothic reimagining of Riverdale, and they've changed some of the characters. And
Where's teen vampires and they're making out?
well, no, but like Archie had sex with like the first episode you see it. He had sex with one of the teachers.
The fuck you say?
No, yeah, they fuck, yeah, but him and one of the teachers fuck during the summer, and he's like a sophomore in high school, so
Is this what Archie's like?
no, not at
I
all.
was
Like
gonna say, all the
Arch-
panels I've seen. are
Archie's
not-
like the Andy Griffith show. That's why I said like a gothic drama.
He was had two girls
realization.
fighting over him, and
Yeah.
then he never picked which one he wanted.
Jesse and Veronica or something like that.
How the fuck do you always have two hot chicks fighting over you? Most hideous fucking shut I've ever seen.
Oh god, what is that from?
Clerks.
Clerks 2, yep. But yeah, it seemed intriguing, but it's also a murder mystery. Like there's a murder that is talked
Oh,
about in
boy.
the first episode, and people are trying to figure out who did it.
Super excited.
Yeah, I don't think CW is really trying to get me to watch their shows.
I watched 2 of their shows.
What's
So,
that?
Flash and Supernatural. But I still kind of watch Arrow, but it's not great. Anyways, this has nothing to do with In Time. Nothing.
Nope.
No?
How did we derail so hard? How
We do it every week.
I
It's
know, but
It's always a surprise.
It
for
is.
some
The
reason.
The definition of insanity is bashing your head against the wall and expecting different results.
It's a different definition.
yeah, I
of
was
it.
gonna say that's not the one I've heard.
Put a little artistic flair in it.
Yeah.
I saw Jake over there, like, wait, what?
I followed him up to a certain point. I'm like, that's a deviation I haven't heard before.
Oh, no, it's In Time though. Why don't we go into our scenes? I mean, Jake already gave his.
Yeah.
Drew.
God, I want to say the Johnny Galecki thing, but I would say I don't know. I really liked the poker scene. I guess it was kind of interesting to see the whole to see such a high stakes game, and so basically Justin Timberlake goes into this ritzy kind of casino area and he plays
some high stakes poker. It's no limit. And he goes up against this guy, and he's been seeing this girl who's played by Amanda Seyfried. He's been seeing her like all over the place. And she sits down with this guy, and they're going at this hand, and the guy's like, I raise you 50 years.
50.
50
It was
years.
50 years, yeah.
So Timberlake's
more.
like, yeah, I call, and they're having some sort of conversation about like how he's, I don't know, he's like a newbie there because they don't recognize him or something like that.
He's new time.
Yeah, yeah. And so, you know, it gets to the river card, and the guy goes, oh, I raised you 200 years. And basically, Timberlake only had 250 years on him, and is basically going all in with this bid. And so he calls him, and he ends up with a straight, and he has like no time left. He has like 10 seconds left. And so they finally show the cards, and just in the nick of time, no pun intended, he wins the hand, and he gains like 1,100 years on his life. You right there?
Yeah.
You're like stroking yourself and making faces.
Making orangutan lunch.
Yeah.
Excuse me, orangutan. What am I, uncultured swine?
Are you like on Molly or something?
What the hell is going on with you?
I don't know. Been a fun week. I get to play Zelda Friday. I don't give a fuck anymore.
Fuck you.
But yeah, that was intriguing. That he's like, fuck it, it's your time. And,
Yeah. And that guy didn't even seem to care. He's just
yeah.
like whatever. And
But what, he ended up winning 700 years?
no, it was like 1,100 years.
Yeah.
It was like some crazy amount of time.
It,
Just from one hand of poker.
it was idiotic. It's like, oh, you can live 11 times over?
Yeah.
Okay. Or no, more than that. Yeah, it way too much time. So, I would have to say, my scene is when they get discovered by the Alex Pettifer or whatever his name is, and his group, and they were holding out in this hotel, and he has to enter into that arm wrestling duel with him, and it seemed he does his trick that he talks about earlier in the film, and he makes him like think he has the upper hand and he's about to win when he flips the tables on him, and as he's taking what's left of his time, he reaches down, grabs the pistol out of Fedora guy's sock, shoots him in the head, gets the guy next to him, shoots the other guy, and then ends up just taking all of Alex Pettifer's time, and then they run out. But I was like, that's awesome. So it just was a nice short scene where, again, it's kind of out of character because it's only the second time in this film you see Justin Timberlake actually do something like that, but it's still just pretty well set up, I think. So, and also then you get to see that piece of shit Fedora wearer
Get shot.
Yeah.
Like he deserved.
We're not disclaiming that everyone who wears a fedora needs to be shot.
I am.
If you see anyone in a fedora on the street, you should shoot them.
Wow.
Public disclosure.
So you're saying Kevin Federline deserved to be shot?
Kevin Federline especially. Also, we do not endorse anyone that does this.
No.
We also don't endorse the use of wearing fedoras.
Yeah.
I'm fine with them.
Really?
I really don't
He has
care.
a secret closet full of them?
Yeah.
I always kind of wanted a fedora. I never owned one, though.
I will slap the shit out of you.
If I just walk in somewhere with a fedora.
You're gonna buy one now.
No, I got better things to spend my money on. I mean, other than a racing wheel, too. That would be a horrible investment, but...
You fuck.
You buy a fedora, and we'll take the racing wheel and the fedora, and we'll burn them at the same time.
Why are you burning my racing wheel?
Do you use it?
No, but I might. Someday.
Are you going to use it in Link? In the new Zelda game?
Yeah, I'm gonna drive Link around on a horse.
I'm like pedal to the metal, but this horse is still just, jogging.
It's pretty dumb.
Yeah.
You don't need a shifter for a horse.
Go in
If you're
reverse.
using a shifter, you're doing something wrong.
You're grabbing its penis.
It's a happy horse, though.
Happy horse, happy life.
What?
I don't know.
Happy horse, happy wife?
Life.
Yeah. Isn't that what it originally is?
It's not happy horse, happy wife. It's happy wife, happy life.
They're both fucked.
Are you fucking the horse?
Maybe your wife's fucking a horse.
That's called the Donkey Show. Kinky Kelly.
That's why Tommy went to Lincoln.
Oh, for the Donkey
That was the working title for the show. Happy horse, happy wife. The motherfucker's got AIDS.
Jeez, I don't...
Maybe not AIDS.
I was gonna say, I don't think you can go that far.
I think my IQ has dropped significantly.
Every time.
Happy wife, happy life.
That's what I just said!
I just remembered.
Jesus.
Well, I said it like
Perhaps
several
you
times.
saying it and me not hearing made me subconsciously hear it, and then I realized.
to have happy horse, happy wife.
Yeah. I mean, I knew it wasn't happy horse, happy
Wow,
wife.
Jake, that's original. Did you come up with that by yourself?
Jesus Christ.
Oh.
Do we got anything else?
As I say, I was gonna go into the budget information. It did make a profit. It made it was a $40 million budget. It made $173.9 million worldwide.
Wow.
Only like 36 of that came domestically, though. Everything else came internationally. It had a few lawsuits come out over it because several people said that they had similar short stories that they had released to it, but most of them either A, settled, or B, they dismissed the lawsuits. And
I mean, it seems like a story that a lot of people could just kind of come to, you know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
Like, I don't want to say that it isn't unique, but it definitely borrows pretty liberally from a lot of other shit already, so...
Yep.
I don't know, I guess I could understand why a lot of it wouldn't actually go to court or stand up in court.
Well, isn't there like is it Logan's Run? It kind of is like, isn't that the one where it's like you get to live for so long and then like you get
they send
sent
you
off
somewhere.
Yeah,
I think so. I never saw it,
but
I think I've heard that's what
They
that
have,
movie
they have
deals
a,
with.
They have a South Park based on it.
But yeah, kind of like that too. I mean, it's not exactly an original idea. Just how they infer how much life you have is different. But also in this, it's kind of funny because Justin Timberlake's mom in this movie is played by Olivia Wilde, and she was actually younger than Justin Timberlake.
He's 3 years older than her.
Yeah.
They were an alpha dog together.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so was there's a couple others. Amanda Seyfried.
Amanda Seyfried was
Yeah.
at it too.
And there was another guy too.
Yeah, and then the ending building was the courthouse which
That
looked
looked
like
like
shit. That is by far the worst thing in this film is that final shot, which sucks. You usually don't want to end your final shot looking like crap, because otherwise I would say it's the car wreck. But that building looks like complete crap. But what are you gonna do? Yeah, and Vincent Kartheiser is also an alpha dog, but I don't know who that is.
I don't know.
But then this film actually was kind of panned by critics. It got 36% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 53% on Metacritic. But Roger Ebert really liked it. He gave it 3 out of 4 stars.
What year did this come out?
2011.
Ebert was still around?
It says Roger Ebert gave it. He died in 2013.
Wow.
So.
Thought he died longer ago.
Alright, do we want to go into our reviews then?
Yeah.
Okay. This was my pick, and I had seen this film once before. I bought it when Blockbuster was closing, so I got cheap. I was like, oh hey, I remember wanting to see this film. Now I can buy it for $2 and see if I like it or not. Doesn't really matter because Blockbuster is out of business.
What's Blockbuster?
Exactly. Anyways, the first time I saw it with a few friends, and I was like, you know what? I like the idea of this film. Some things aren't as well executed or polished as they should be, and some of the time jokes do get a little dumb and infuriating because there's so many of them. But more time, like Jake says, after a while you just start laughing at it, and you're like, you know what? You put your foot in this ground, and you're saying, yeah, I'm sticking with this. But
I love when I put my foot in the ground.
yeah, I know. It's like, wow, that was terrible, but I'm just gonna roll with it.
Nice.
Anyways, I think Justin's fine. He's a little stiff, especially considering what films I looked he had been in, and definitely was a lot better considering when this falls. But Amanda Seyfried is, well, gorgeous to look at, but also she's fine. She's fine. She does her job. She's a little
Acting
stiff
wise?
as well. Yeah.
Oh.
She's a little stiff as well.
Made me a little stiff. Allegedly. No. She succeeded.
Okay. I'm
sure everyone was wondering.
I think the listeners are glad.
I'm glad I could interrupt your review to tell everyone I had a boner.
Yes. Did Justin Timberlake do it for you as well?
Yeah. It was even harder for him.
Oh, okay. Anyways, I think some of it too was the direction. I don't know. For some reason, everyone kind of was that way, so I'm wondering if it was a direction choice. But the cast as a whole is pretty good. They're suitable for their roles. I enjoyed rewatching it. I caught one or two more things, but there's still just questions about the film. It's not, as good as Gattaca. Definitely not even close on that level. I give the film a 6.3.
Yeah, I had never seen this. I remember watching commercials when it was coming out, and I thought, oh, that's kind of an interesting idea. I wonder how it'll do, and I had actually heard that it hadn't been doing great, and I always kind of intended to eventually just watch it, just to see what it was about. And
Do you want to know what it opened behind? Because it opened third.
Yeah, sure, what?
It opened behind Puss in Boots and Paranormal Activity 3.
Man, that hurts to get beat by that.
Puss in Boots, I understand. That's a family film.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Paranormal Activity 3, that sucks.
But, yeah, I don't regret, seeing it. Like I said, I'd always intended to watch it, and I'd agree that I think a lot of it probably was directing. I just think that he probably had a much more solid foundation when he came up with Gattaca. Like, I think he had planned out just exactly what he wanted to do and probably had actors in mind. And this kind of seems like one that he kind of wrote it and then, went and put all the pieces together. And I think it works. I think you still get a pretty entertaining movie. It's just it doesn't have an impact of a Gattaca to me. But I could be biased because I saw Gattaca first. But you said you would not, and you feel the same way?
Yeah.
Okay. So
but you definitely see the correlations between the two films.
Mhm. They're similar in kind of a lot of ways, but also drastically different.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of hard to explain, but if anybody goes and watches them, I think they'll get what we're talking about. But yeah, I think Timberlake was a little stiff. I thought I always think Olivia Wilde's good. I think she's very
She
convincing.
was probably the loosest of all the characters. Oh my gosh, I don't mean it that way.
Yeah.
She felt the most relaxed in her role.
While
or
you
she-
did your thing.
Yes. I don't. Do you
We're
want
just
to?
gonna grind that pod to a halt.
Yeah, it's your review.
Yeah, I know. So Amanda Seyfried, yeah, she's great to look at, but I kind of agree when you're like, what did she bring? Like,
Yeah.
I've seen her do better as well.
Yep.
And Cillian Murphy, I know, can do way better than this.
Mhm.
It seems like a lot of going through the motions. And I don't want to say that they didn't have their heart in it at all. I just think that they probably were focused on other shit more so, or they weren't enthralled in the script. And like we've kind of talked about, there's a lot of shit here that's already been done before, so I could see people being kind of disinterested. But it sucks when you watch a movie where you think the actors might feel that way.
Like I said, because there were so many of them doing it, I kind of feel it was a director's choice.
Yeah, and the other thing I'll say is I like Andrew Nichols. I like Gattaca a lot. Like you guys know, it's probably one of my favorite movies. I think that he's definitely a style guy. Do you get what I mean by that? Like the way he sets everything up, and especially the way he has everybody dress, and like he's always kind of trying to harken back to like noir type style with the trench coats and the leather and stuff like that. And Timberlake's pretty well dressed for most of this movie, and Seyfried's running around in these like hot little skirts and shirts and dresses, yeah. But everybody looks like a model. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Gattaca was kind of the same way, but Gattaca had more of a human message behind it.
Yep.
About like free will and wanting to accomplish things and stuff like that. So this is a long review. I'm rambling like a moron at this point, but like I had already said earlier, I thought the messages were a little bit mixed. I still think it's an enjoyable movie. I think the pacing's fine. I'd probably give it a 6.
It's my first time watching this movie too. The acting is passable. What can I say that Jake didn't already say?
Sorry.
The plot is very, very interesting. I do remember watching the trailers for this and kind of being enthralled with the premise. It doesn't seem like an hour and 45-minute movie, really. The pacing's fine. I liked it. The costuming is very well done. Gattaca is just a better movie.
Yes.
It just is. You don't really have a message, like a concrete message in this movie. It's more or less a mixture of Bonnie and Clyde mixed with Robin Hood on a guy who's been down on his luck his whole life, and it hits at some parts, and some parts it doesn't hit like it should. I've seen better performances from Seyfried and from Timberlake, and from Cillian Murphy. He was great in Batman, and I don't know, Red Eye. I really enjoyed his.
Forgot about that.
Yeah,
I did too.
yeah, he's really creepy in that. But no, I mean, like you guys said, there are plenty of correlations between this and Gattaca. The vehicles and stuff, like he it's almost like a period piece where he brings it back to days of yore, and albeit add some stupid ass RC car sound effects to it. But there are parts parts of this film to enjoy, and I genuinely think that there's an interesting story here. It's an entertaining film. Check it out if you want. I also give it a 6.
All right.
Yeah, we're pretty concise on that.
Yeah.
So, but
A little better than average, but nothing crazy.
no,
Not gonna blow your mind or anything.
no,
Seyfried though.
yeah, she'll blow your mind.
Allegedly.
I mean, come on, that scene where they're playing strip poker.
that was pretty great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was good.
You didn't even get the best angle,
No,
but I could imagine, and that's what counts. That's how you pull me into a movie.
it's
You
making
make me be a pervert.
That's why you like all those Scooby Doo cartoons. Oh. All right. Well, Jake, it's your pick next week.
So we had a fun debate, kind of. We were gonna watch a Serbian film, which probably would have been the most fucked up 50th episode of anything ever. But then we found out that we wouldn't be able to comprehend what was being said because we don't have English subtitles. So we're gonna go with the backup, and that's The Room by Tommy Wiseau,
Which I've never seen.
Dude.
It's pretty popular, and none of us have seen it, right? I've never seen it. I just ordered it because, well, actually, my brother and I saw a clip on YouTube, and he goes, "Why the fuck don't you own this movie?" And I was like, "Why the fuck don't I own this movie?"
The parts I've seen
Are gold.
Yeah, there's something alright.
So it'll either be a really fun pod or the worst pod we've ever done. So tune in.
Yeah. All right.
So excited.
You just can't hide it.
I know.
I know.
I want you.
Jake wouldn't chime in. Did you realize I wasn't?
Why?
All right. So like, share, subscribe. Facebook, Twitter, email, Libsyn. Anything else I'm forgetting?
I don't know.
Comment on the damn page. We want to
Yeah.
hear from you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We will talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
If you have ideas for stuff that you think that we'd enjoy doing or you want to hear us talk about, I've seen some fucked up shit on the internet, so...
Yes, we discussed some of that in this pod.
Yeah, I've seen worse than that.
I know you've seen worse than that. We've discussed that in other pods.
I have a hard time sleeping sometimes.
It doesn't surprise me.
Hmm.
All right, well, for all of us at TJD, I'm Ty.
Jake.
And I'm Drew.